Hello everyone, in this video you are going to see how we can create a foreign key, otherwise how we can create a relationship between two tables in MySQL database. Now we are going to use phpMyAdmin to create our database. So let's go ahead and create a new database. I will say the database name as student and then create. Okay, now firstly I want to create a student table, and this could contain student ID and student name and then student, okay, for this time student birthday. Now that's fine. So ID, I will keep this as ID, and then this should be in auto increment, and then the name, this will be Vacha. I will say the limit as 100, and then the next one birthday, so I will say this as date. Alright, now that is it. I can go ahead and save this. Okay, the table is created. Now we can add a student to this table. Click this insert button, and then here you can type student name. So I will type Ashain, and then birthday, I can select some date here. So for some reason I cannot see my birthday, so I will select some random one and then press go. The data will be inserted now into our table. Here you can see these data. Now I'm going to create the mark table. So we are going to create the mark table by define the table name here. I will say marks, and then table should have table ID, and then subject, and then marks, and then the last one as student ID. So I can create now the name for this. I will say ID, and this will be in auto increment, and then next one I will say marks. So we can use int because marks usually not containing any percentage, any percent value. So I can say the next one as student underscore ID, and the last one will be subject. So actually this is not well normalized, so I am going to enter subject name here. If you want, you can just normalize that more. So I can just save this. So here you have to select what is the table will depend on another table. In this case, this marks table will be dependent on this student table. Without a student, mark will not exist. So I can select this dependent table marks because it will be depend on the student table. So I can go to structure here, and then relational view, and then I can say some constraint name, for example exam underscore result, and then the column, the student ID will get constraint with the student table with student ID. This is the student ID available in the student table, and then this column is in marks table, so it will be have the constraint now. So I can just press save. Okay, the constraint is created. Now if we hover into our database, if I go to marks, so I can just go to insert, so I can say some marks here 50, and then student ID. You can see we have to select student ID, but we cannot enter because this have constraint with the student table and student ID. So the subject, I can enter some subject as science and then press go. Okay. Now if we go to the student table and then if we try to delete this student, you can see this shows a error, because here let me open my marks table and then go to structure, relation view. Here you can see on delete is in restrict state. That means it will not allow to delete while there is a constraint. So as the solution, we can change this on delete restrict into cascade. What happened if we change this into cascade is, if we delete a student without deleting marks, it is okay. That means all data related to that student will be deleted. Let me go ahead and show you. If I hover into the student table and then delete this particular student, it is okay. Now if we go into the marks table, you can see the marks also deleted available for that particular student. Let me go ahead and show you another thing. Firstly, I need to add a new student. I will go to the student table and then go to insert. I will say my name as Ashane again and then some random birthday and then go. Okay, now I am going to add some marks into the marks table. I will say marks as 50, student is Ashane and then subject is science. Okay, now I will go to marks table structure here and then go to relation view, and then here if we select this into set null in the on delete and on update, then it will allow us to delete some student and the marks table will be set that student ID as null value. But there is a problem, because if we go to the marks table and then go to the structure, here if you see this student ID, it is in not null state. So if we want to do that, we have to allow nulls, and then we can just go to structure, relation view and then change this into set null. Okay, now we can just go to browse. Here we have to delete the student from here, and then let's go to our marks table. Here you can see student ID is set to null. Okay, now let's go ahead and clean up our all tables by deleting all data, and then there's another way that allow us to create a constraint. So I going to go to structure and the relation view and then drop this constraint, and then here if we go to the database and then go to more designer, it will show all the tables available. So this allows us to create the constraint visually. For that, here you have to select this create relationship option and then select your reference key, which is in the student table, which will be this ID, and the foreign key will be student ID in the marks table. So here we can select this one, and then on delete as set null, on update as set null, and then I will press OK. Now if we go to the table, then we can add student, go to the insert, and then same one, go, and then let's add marks. In the marks I'm going to insert subject is science. Okay, now if we go to the browse, in the student, if we delete this student here, now we can check marks table. Here this student ID is set into the null. Okay, I hope this video helps, and if this helps, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.